I'm not comparing Brock Purdy to Tom Brady.
Okay, shut up.
All the things popping into my head would get me canceled if I say them. Count the paper, count the money.
Aggressively mid.
Get keistered like you're going to
What?
jail for 10 years and
Stop.
yeah.
You're gonna look so dumb in like 4 months. Holy
Bro,
Moses.
Gazi. They don't
Go
have,
watch the tape.
He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Because in my mind, they're getting Marvin Harrison Jr. This is going to be a really good division. That someone on that 49ers team is going to drop off.
This is Buffet Sports.
Yeah, okay, good morning, afternoon, and evening. It's the guy you should believe in. Dropping heat like every season. Underdog like Willie Beeman. Classic like Dom singing. Blasting like bombs ringing. I guess I define winning.
How are we feeling as a whole?
Your mother.
I'm feeling romantical tonight. You just don't have good banter. Only when me and you are alone in the nighttime without viewers do you have good banter. Not when you guys are here. It gets a little shy, like I do when I pee. You see, I can create nothing out of something. I'm like God.
Oh my gosh. Don't do the God comparison.
You see this? You see this? You see how I'm electric and this guy is flat, like a limp
Flat.
balloon? He's a limp balloon. And me, I just spit bars. No, you haven't done the thing yet?
I just have 2 teams to do.
All right, Zane time. Zane time, everybody.
I
We
just
gotta make
need
a little jingle for Zane time. Zane time, everybody. Let's talk about P. Diddler, the man who is a fiddler of man's butts. Let's talk about that.
What?
You don't know about this?
No, I'll listen.
Okay.
What the hell?
An investigation is going on with P. Diddy. His houses have been raided and his sons have been arrested because there was a producer who is suing him, and then it turned into like an actual like government investigation. He was suing him for sexual harassment and like child like sex trafficking. And apparently P. Diddy would throw these parties, and he had cameras in all these rooms, and he would get like artists, he would get music execs, he would get all these big names, and then he would have
So it's like
prostitutes.
Epstein, it's black Epstein Island.
Yes, P. Diddy, the fiddler of man's butts. You know, he might be sliding on the ops for the LGBTQ. He would ask this producer to like do certain things with him, butt stuff, obviously. And he said that like, yeah, you can get a Grammy if you do stuff. And then he said there was a couple of times he would wake up in bed with P. Diddy laying next to him. The main thing as of right now is that he posted a video of him in his plane and he was over Colombia and he was flying his private jet. Well, lo and behold, when you taunt the government and the police, the only thing that you can't beat is the government because the government has all the money, power, and all the cocaine and all of the hoes. P. Diddy got arrested and was in custody. He has been released. I don't know if he was on bond, but I mean, he hasn't been charged with anything yet. It was all just speculation at this point. But he is currently out. His mugshot is hilarious. I'm trying to come up with words that don't get me canceled. But he looks like he makes grilled cheeses at night. So he looks like a man who makes grilled cheeses at night, had sex with an alien, and that is P. Diddy's mugshot. His forehead, I don't even know how to do the like geographical like shape of his forehead, but it like goes in and it like bumps out like this. Like he's starting to form a horn in the middle of his head. It's wild. If you haven't seen that, and his eyes are like so sharp like a lizard. He does not look like a human in that mugshot. The diddler in the fiddler of men's colons. It's looking like he will be arrested for human trafficking, sex trafficking, blackmail, and it's really an eye opener. It seems like it's everywhere. It seems like it's all within entertainment. Quick tidbit. The big Kenneth it's all entertainment. Probably gonna cut that out. Don't let the CIA come into my house. But yeah, you said this was gonna be quick. It is not quick.
I had a typo. I was confused, and I was also just like slowly writing because I was so.
That's crazy. That's crazy. You don't know about this. End of Zane time.
Welcome back. We survived Zane time. I'm Devin. That is Zane, and we're gonna predict the NFC North today. All right, options. We can start with the Lions, the Packers, the Vikings, or the Bears. Do we want to start with the Vikings and get them out of the way?
Yes, let's go Vikes.
Okay, let's get the Vikings out of the way here. So, starting with the in-division games, we have the Bears. Is it a split or a sweep?
I need your wisdom.
I think this is a split just because both are going to be rookie quarterbacks this year, and it'll be a good game. I think the weapons wise for the Vikings, I think it's flopped. I think the Bears will win away, whereas the Vikings will win at home or win in Chicago. I think it'll be flipped, but I think it's just going to be a toss-up. It's going to be rookie quarterbacks. Yes, it's Caleb Williams, but I like the Vikings just in terms of weapons. If they do have
unless they believe in Sam Darnold,
could be, but I think it's a split here. I think this is a split.
Yeah, I'm fine with a split.
We have the Lions sweep.
Sweep.
Now for the Packers, I think this is a sweep too. I don't think that the Vikings can compete with the Packers.
They're rivals, though. That's the only thing.
Now, for the pre-filled games, we have the Vikings playing the Texans at home. This is a loss for the Vikings. We have the Vikings playing the Colts at home. This is a loss for the Vikings. We have the Vikings going to Jacksonville to play the Jaguars. This is a loss for the Vikings.
Jesus Christ.
the Vikings playing the Falcons in Minnesota. This is their first win of the pre-filled games here. Win for the Vikings. We have the Vikings heading to Tennessee to play the Titans. This is a loss for the Vikings. We have the Jets coming to visit the Vikings in Minnesota. This is a loss for the Vikings. And then we have the Vikings traveling to New York to play the Giants. This is a loss for the Vikings. Moving on to the rest of the regular season, we have the Vikings at home versus the Cardinals. This is a win for the Vikings.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, now that I'm not as I usually am, and I'm hearing that, I definitely want to change a little bit.
I don't.
Bit.
I think that this is. I think this is going to be pretty accurate, unfortunately.
Titans without Derrick Henry.
Because look at it. I mean, for me, when I look at this, is even with Kirk healthy last year, they were struggling still.
I mean, Kirk was barely healthy.
That's what I mean, though. Through the first 6 games, they were struggling.
That is true. That it was always really close games.
Yeah, they were struggling. And now you take Kirk away, who is proven himself as, we saw what they were like towards the end of the year. I think it's going to be a really tough go this year, even with a JJ McCarthy. Continuing here, we have the Vikings visiting the Rams. This is a loss for the Vikings.
Yeah, that is a loss.
The Vikings playing the 49ers at home. This is a loss for the Vikings.
Yeah.
Then we have the Vikings going to Seattle. How do we feel about this? I think I'm okay if we want to put this down as a win.
Yeah,
but at the same time, I can see them having a really rough game there.
It's a toss up. I mean, Vikings and Cardinals playing Seattle.
Are they better than the
teams?
Are they better than the Panthers? Is the question.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I mean, the amount of it's the same conversation.
Okay, so
win against weapons.
Win against the Seahawks. The Vikings are going to go 4-13 in the regular season and 1-5 in division. Moving on now, do we want to do Packers, Lions, or Bears?
I want to do. Let's go Packs. Let's go Packs. Let's go bad, good, bad, good.
So to start us off here, the Packers sweep the Vikings. So that's 2 W's on the record to start off. Is this a split with the Lions or a sweep one way or the other?
I'm going to go split.
I agree. For ease sake, win at home.
Yeah, ease sake. I mean, especially with Jared Goff. Jared Goff hates playing in the cold.
All right. And then the Bears. Is this a sweep or a split? I think this is a split too.
Packers aren't losing the Bears.
They aren't losing to the Bears?
Packers aren't losing to the Bears.
I don't know, man. This
have
might
you
be
heard
the year.
have you heard the stat?
I have, but if it's going to be any year, it's going to be this year. And I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to bet on that.
It would make sense because it's like, oh, Caleb Williams beat the Packers. But I'm thinking that
not Caleb Williams. I think that offense has put together some really good pieces, and I think that defense is going to be tough.
I mean,
and especially
Packers
if this
defense is going to be tough.
Sure, but I think if this is middle of the year, if this is a middle of the year kind of game,
this is a team that came off of making it to the second round of the playoffs. And they're keeping all their guys, and now they just added a younger running back. I mean, yeah,
that's true. That's true.
Bears are unknown. Packers have just gotten better, to our knowledge. They've just
sweep.
Gotten better.
You want to go sweep for the Packers?
I want to go sweep. I mean, the Bears have to do so much more to beat the Packers than the Packers have to. The Packers have just gotten better, and they were already considered a great team.
Now moving on to the pre-filled games for the Packers, we have the Packers playing the Texans at home. This is a win for the Packers. We have the Packers playing the Colts at home. This is a loss for the Packers. We have the Packers going to Jacksonville to play the Jaguars. This is a win for the Packers. We've got the Packers playing the Saints at home, a win for the Packers. We have the Packers going to Tennessee to play the Titans, a win for the Packers. Dolphins coming to Green Bay. This is a win for the Packers. And finally, we have the Packers visiting Philadelphia to play the Birds. This is a loss for the Packers.
I'm happy with that.
Moving on to the rest of the regular season, we have the Cardinals in Green Bay. This is a win for the Packers.
Win for the Packers.
Next up, we have this is going to be a tough game. We have the Packers playing the Niners at home. I want to say win.
Here's the only problem is that the only reason why it was such a close game, I feel like, I mean, yes, Jordan Love, the rest of the offense, but Aaron Jones had a huge part in that game to where they almost beat the 49ers. Now he's gone. And even though I like Josh Jacobs there, I don't know. It was like Aaron Jones being this hard-hitting power back was like a huge part in their success.
I know I'm a hater. I know I'm a hater, but Christian McCaffrey's got to slow down sometime.
I don't think it would be Christian. I think it would be Ayuk or Debo.
I'm just saying, at some point, that someone on that 49ers team is going to drop off.
And
And
I'm not
I got a
comparing.
weird feeling it's this year.
I'm not comparing Brock Purdy to Tom Brady, but there are times within quarterbacks who play very well where, I mean, Tom Brady had, I'm pretty sure it was 8 to 10 years where he didn't go to the Super Bowl. We could definitely see a drop off from Brock Purdy this year.
And it's so funny because he's in year 3. I want to say win for the Packers.
Yeah,
I want to say
down.
win for the Packers.
I'm down for that. A little
Okay.
upset there.
Packers beat the Niners at home.
You know who's
Huge
probably going
win.
to fall off? Trent Williams.
And then our final 2 games for the regular season for the Packers. We have the Packers going to the Rams. I'm going to say loss for the Packers.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
Okay. And then finally, we have the Packers visiting Seattle in the rain, most likely win for the Packers.
Yeah.
This is going to be a really good division. I'm just going to say this outright right now. This is going to be a really good division. All right. So for the regular season, the Packers will finish with a record of 13-4 and a division record of 5-1.
Hey, let's go. I predict they make the playoffs again.
All right. We're down to the Lions and the Bears. Who do we want to look at next?
So now we go Bears because we go
Bears.
bad, good, bad, good.
We had the Bears splitting with the Vikings, so they won at home. And then we have them getting swept by the Packers.
Here's the thing. I really want to know if the Lions, when they play Chicago at home, I really want to know if it's late in the season. Because that I could see. A cold Chicago game.
The Lions
Windy City.
Are liable to lose a couple games in division. I'm not surprised if they lose one to the Bears. Are you comfortable going with that? Just like doing a split here?
Yes, but I want my asterisk that if it's at home and it's like later in the season, I mean, it's called the Windy City for a reason. Jared Goff, the one thing we know about him is that the weather is his downfall.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I'm saying. So let's go split.
Yeah, I'm down for a little split. Look, okay. And I mean, with Dan Campbell, I love Dan Campbell, but when he shoots from the hip, like 50% of the time, he's going to miss a couple shots, you know?
All right, moving on to the pre-filled games for the Bears. We have Jacksonville coming up to Chicago to play in the Windy City. This is a win for the Bears. Mm-hmm. We have the Bears going to Houston to play the Texans. This is a loss for the Bears. We have the Bears we have the Titans coming to Chicago. This is a win for the Bears. Mm-hmm. We have the Bears traveling to Indianapolis. This is a loss for the Bears. We then have the Panthers coming to Chicago. This is a win for the Bears. And then we have the Bears going to the Commanders. This is a win for the Bears. Mm-hmm. And finally, we have the Patriots coming over to Chicago. This is a win for the Bears.
Kind of a easy schedule.
Pretty easy schedule.
Yeah.
Now, moving on to the rest of the regular season here, we have the Bears playing the Rams at home. This is a loss for the Bears.
Yeah.
I'm saying purely on, even if it comes down to the wire, experience will win this game.
Matthew Stafford coming out.
Yes.
But I mean, Rams didn't make the playoffs. They had to make a 5-game win streak to make the playoffs. I mean, they lost some stupid games.
But the health was heavily involved in their record.
True.
Now we've got the Bears going to Arizona. I'm going to say this is a loss. I'm assuming in my mind
you in Arizona, brother.
Because in my mind, they're getting Marvin Harrison Jr.
They got rid of Mark Hollywood Brown.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to get Marvin Harrison. Is he that much better than Hollywood Brown?
Yes, bro. Yes.
They don't
watch the tape,
bro. They don't have a run game.
Their defense is... James Conner's going to be. He got his year back under his belt. He's going to come back better. I'm telling you, the Cardinals are going to be aggressively mid.
Fugazi.
They're going to be 10-7. I guarantee it. I want to say win here, or I want to say loss here for the.
I'll give it to
Cardinals.
You. I don't.
Okay. So loss for the Bears versus the Cardinals. Next up, we have the Bears playing Seattle at home. I'll let you decide this one.
They beat Seattle.
Next up, we have the Bears traveling to San Francisco versus the Niners. This is an L.
Whopped. Get keistered. Get keistered like you're going to
What?
jail for 10 years, and all the things popping in my head would get me canceled if I say them.
Stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Bears will be going 8-9 in the regular season
That's
and
good.
finishing 2-4 in the division.
That's good. That's good
Yeah.
for a first year.
I think they will match that's what their record was this year. I think they're going to match it.
The main problem with
Vikings lost.
I don't like how Caleb breaks the pocket. I think it's like a cartoon-esque. Like he doesn't break the pocket like a quarterback breaks pocket. It's almost like it's kind of like Lamar, but like Lamar's gotten better about actually breaking it with purpose. Like he's 10 yards back, and then there's a guy coming, and then he's scrambling like this, he's still in the pocket, but he's like running around, like doing a bunch of crazy stuff, and then he's making a throw. And I mean, guys, go watch the highlights. Go watch the tackles he breaks. Do you think NFL D linemen are gonna whiff like that? Or, I mean, he's not Lamar Jackson. It's just that he's not Lamar. I don't like how he breaks. I don't like how he breaks the pocket. I don't think that transfers over into the NFL. It's just that simple. I think the way he his superhero plays that he makes that everyone talks about, I feel like are him deciding to be a superhero. He doesn't need to be it.
You're gonna look so dumb in like 4 months. Holy
bro,
Moses.
look at his highlight tape is only filled with him breaking the.
But the highlights are not everything
bro,
that a player
he
is.
doesn't have a single highlight of him standing in the pocket and throwing.
Go, brother. It doesn't. The highlights are gonna be the highlights. Of course, they're gonna pick the craziest. And if he's got 5 minutes of crazy, they're gonna put 5 minutes of crazy together. Don't watch his highlights. Go watch a rerun of a game. I'm telling you.
You go watch our rerun.
We won. What do we watch our we won?
When do we watch our we won of what we did last night?
Okay, shut up. So we have the Lions. Shut up. Shut your mouth. Shut up.
Me and his colon.
You proud of that one?
No, I just wanted to disrespect you for.
Would you stop playing with your hair, you woman?
The widowy?
You had nothing for that.
Widowy, I'm gonna fiddle with your colon. I just wanted to disrespect you for how you dismantled me talking about Caleb Williams. Go watch his actual games.
Yeah, go watch some actual game film.
Go watch his actual games.
Also, it's crazy that you're even questioning if Marvin Harrison Jr. is a Sunday guy playing on Saturdays right now. He could be one of the top 10. I would put him in the top.
I wasn't questioning it. I was just saying that I think Hollywood Brown's great. I think he's a great wide receiver.
I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is a top 15 receiver walking into the league on draft day.
Yeah, but I mean,
that's not the same.
If you have,
that's not the same. I'm sorry, that's not the same.
You still have Kyler Murray throwing.
What's the problem?
Is that I think that Marquise Brown is a star wide receiver, and he doesn't look that way because he's Kyler throwing to him. That's what I'm saying.
I think that Marquise Brown, even in KC, won't be a top 20 receiver.
Well, I mean, that one's difficult because Patrick likes to spread it.
It doesn't matter. Like, you can still look like a top 20 guy and not have the stats. He doesn't like, you don't say that name and I'm like, top 20.
I think that's because you had him on your fantasy team and he sucked for you.
No, he's not been great. He was in.
Yeah, because
what did he do? What did he do with Lamar? Not.
Yeah, you're right. Right.
All right. The Lions.
You're right, but you're also homosexual. That's what you are. Just me here now. Internet probably disconnected is what I'm thinking. Probably, yeah, his internet probably cut out. Weird. Probably the internet. Gotta get that fixed. Gotta get that checked, brother. Gotta get that fixed, brother. You gotta get that fixed, brother. Internet going out, gotta get that checked.
Internet going out. I left. Can I get through this now?
Yeah.
Am I good to go? The Lions split with the Bears. The Packers split with the Lions. And we have the Lions sweeping the Vikings. Moving on to the pre-filled games here. We have I just realized I missed one.
While you do that, I'm actually going to not speak about aliens. I'm going to take a pee. Where my dogs at?
This is the best description of Josh Allen I've ever heard. Josh Allen is like a human monster truck with the soul of a labradoodle that's fueled by Four Loko. That's the best description I've ever heard.
Switch out Four Loco with something else. I agree.
No, dude, that's battery acid. He's powered.
That's battery acid. Hey, that's like that stuff them crackheads skimming off the top of the battery.
For the Lions, we're going to go through the pre-field games. We have the Jags coming up to Detroit. That's a win for the Lions. We have the Lions heading down to Houston. They take care of business. That's a win for the Lions. We have the Titans coming up to visit the Lions. That is a win for the Lions.
I never know, because I never know what kind of crap I tried the poll. So every time you say Titans, I never know if it's going to be a win or a loss.
We have the Lions heading down to Indianapolis as a win for the Lions.
Yeah.
Then we have the Bucks coming up to Detroit. This is a win for the Lions. We have the Lions heading down to Dallas. This is a win for the Lions.
Yes.
And then we have the Bills coming up to play the Lions at home.
Mr.
We have it
Battery
as a
Acid.
Win for the Lions.
Ooh, we do.
We have it as a win for the Lions. So to round out the rest of the regular season, we have the Lions playing the Rams at home. This is a loss for the Lions. Revenge game from the playoffs.
Yeah, actually, I like that. I like that. It's weird. It's like every podcast we have one team that just like constantly like wins, and this podcast is the Rams.
Yeah. We have the Lions playing Seattle at home. This is a win for the Lions.
Yeah.
We have the Lions playing the Cardinals in Arizona. Win for the Lions.
Okay, there we go. Somebody got some brain cells back.
And then we have finally, to round out the regular season, we have the Lions playing the Niners in San Francisco. I think this is a loss.
It's tough because that's like Dan Campbell's medicine that he takes at night, going to somebody else's territory when you're supposed to lose and winning. That's what he preaches about on Sundays.
Yeah, but also he likes to go for it on fourth down when it's 4th and 20.
True.
Yeah, I'm going to say loss for the Lions.
Yeah.
So the Lions will finish the regular season at 12-5 and will finish in division at 4-2. That being said, let's count up the division and let's see what we get for the NFC North. Final predictions here. There's really not much change. The Packers are going to be winning the division for us. That's the biggest change here at 13-4, finishing in division at 5-1. The Lions will come in at 12-5, finishing in the division at 4-2. So Packers are a lock for the playoffs. Lions might sneak in here. I have a feeling they will the farther we go into. I think we have one more NFC team to talk about, and I have a feeling, or when an NFC division, I have a feeling the Lions will sneak into the playoffs. Finally, we have the Bears at 8-9 in the 3 spot, finishing 2-4 in the division, and we have the Vikings heading up the pack at 4-13, finishing 1-5 in the division. All right, let's see what we have.
It's a pretty good division.
Left. It is pretty good. I'm kind of surprised at how good the division actually is.
Just depends if Caleb's a bust. I've been saying it for a long time.
North.
That's just what I think. I think he's too wild. I mean, it's so rare you see people that have that sort of play style be successful. I mean, the only one I can think of is Lamar Jackson. Patrick Mahomes has that play style, but he doesn't have that like personality. He has that play style, but with intent. Like Lamar has that play style without intent. Like he'll just scramble and play backyard football, right? Like Patrick Mahomes plays backyard football different than. I didn't even Zoom wanted to hear what I had to say.
No.
Let's get into it. So today we're going to talk about aliens in Texas.
No, shut up. We're going to finish the show. So we went through and we predicted the NFC North. The Packers are going to come out of the division 13-5. The Lions will come out of the division 12-5, possibly making the playoffs here. Next week, we're going to be looking at the AFC North. We're going to be talking a little bit about the solidification. I made that up.
Yeah.
of the NBA playoffs. Maybe we'll have some more movement in draft, in terms of teams collecting assets. Who knows? But maybe we'll have some more clues by next week. More importantly, I'm Devin. That's a belligerent drunk idiot.
Super important, right? More importantly, that's Devin. That's a drunk idiot. More importantly.
And this is Buffet Sports. You can catch us.
I just love, like, after all of the rambling and all of the craziness, you just every time you say this is Buffet Sports, it's just like everything that we just said just like flashes like I'm about to die. It just runs through my head. Everything that we said and talked about. And like P. Diddler the Fiddler like runs through my head. And like, this is Buffet Sports.
You can catch us on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram at buffet.sports. We post every day, if not twice a day. We're posting now multiple times a week for our long form content. We've got a video talking about our predictions in this one, and then we've got one that talks about the biggest news stories from the week.
How about you guys watch it? Bunch of
For real. What the
our
you
YouTube short. Bunch of pieces of bunch of TikTok kids that can't pay attention for more than 12 seconds. Go fuck yourself.
Me?
Anyone.